Hi, everyone. It's Mike from Educircles. This is the episode, my live stream number 8, where I'm going to talk about the winner of my Did I Cheat contest. But instead, I'm going to talk about 3 epic fails, maybe 4. I don't know if this live stream is actually working, but hopefully it is, and we'll figure things out. Here we go. Okay, so I want to talk about my first epic fail. Right now, I was hoping to announce the winner of my Did I Cheat contest. So in September, I ran a contest, a critical thinking contest, and I had on my website some information about a challenge that I was doing. I was trying to give away some TpT gift cards, and the grand prize was a $100 gift card. Now, in order to enter this contest, you had to teach the free lesson and then fill out this Google form, which I've turned off right now because it's past the deadline up September 30th. It ended. But I'm going to go to the form right now. And if I go to the responses, let's just go here. The form is closed, and there were 0 entries submitted. So it kind of sounded like this. It was like that scene in Ferris Bueller where the teacher's going like, anyone? And yeah, it was my first epic fail of the week. And like anything, mistakes are things that we can learn from, but it feels kind of tough. But yeah, this is a learning opportunity for me to try to figure out what went wrong and what I might try doing differently next time. And I have been doing this. I have been trying to improve this product for a little bit of time right now. So a while back on my Teachers Pay Teachers store, I had this lesson. And it was called, I'm just going to Google it up right now, Educircles, Who is Invisible? So, oops, and I typed that wrong, but let's see how good their search is. There it is, Who is Invisible? So back in the day, I had this, this free lesson that I had out there. And I think at the time I had maybe 200 downloads. And it's basically looking through a bunch of videos and trying to find out which groups of people are there and which groups are missing, and thinking about who you were, and then thinking about whose voices and biases we might not hear, and then thinking about how to amplify those voices. And so I did a challenge back in March where I wanted to give away a bunch of TpT gift cards to people who taught this. And then I had 3 people enter the contest, and it was great. And as I was teaching it, I thought, you know what, this would be a funny way to talk about critical thinking, because I was doing an online number generator to give away the prizes and talking about whether or not you could hoax that or game the system to cheat. So that's where the first idea of my Educircles Did I Cheat contest came up. Educircles Did I Cheat? And then in the first round that I did it, here's round 1. I ran the contest. I had 2 people enter, and back in the day, probably closer to 200 downloads. And I learned some important things from here. So some of the feedback I got was maybe have a worksheet to go with it. It was kind of confusing. And in this one, I think I ran the contest for a couple of months. So I thought maybe if I did in a shorter amount of time, I wonder if that would produce better results. Maybe it's just that people weren't finding out about it. All right. So a couple of months ago, I started this Did I Cheat challenge. Maybe I can find it here. Maybe not. Here it is. Did I cheat? Okay. And I thought, you know what? I wonder if maybe if I had more people who knew about this challenge, maybe they would participate. So I actually ran some Facebook ads. It was my first time just trying to figure out some things. And I learned some neat things about Facebook ads. And so I tried to get some interest into this product. Another thing was this time I put out a bunch of worksheets to go along with it, because I thought, you know, maybe that would help it make it more accessible for teachers. And then another thing I tried in this one was I got feedback from a teacher that said, it's just too confusing. I don't know where to start with my students. Is the video for students? Is it for teachers? So what I did was I created this video for students. Hey, students, let's just mute it. Just sort of walking through the process and how the critical thinking might look And I really liked it because I thought there were some funny points where you could sort of model what students were thinking about. So I did that. And again, no one entered the contest, which is a learning opportunity for me, because maybe this kind of thing just doesn't fly. Or maybe because in the last video, I tried to make it more exciting by having class versus class. And I know personally as a teacher, I probably wouldn't enter that because I don't want my name up in lights. But it's something for me to think about. And maybe one of the questions I have to wonder about is, maybe this isn't the best use of my time. Maybe there are other things that I should be focusing on that might get me the results that I want, which is trying to help teachers make the world a better place, but also trying to earn a living from the internet so that I can do more of this stuff. So I'll have to think about that a little bit more, to think about where things went wrong and what I want to do about this. All right, let's talk about epic fail number 2. This one stressed me out a lot because I realized that my TpT gift card giveaways, I had always copy and pasted some jargon that you see from companies doing it, and they have that line void where prohibited. So in my last giveaway, I had 2 winners, one for August and one for September. And I was super excited. So during the video, I was excited. I think Nadia was from Montreal. And then I think, oh, maybe Denise was from Montreal. Also, side note, I thought it was really cool. I didn't discover this until afterwards, but I had people commenting on the videos. Tara had commented, and I wish I had seen it because I could have put it up live on, there's a button in my app that sort of lets me put it up. So anyways, Tara, thanks for chiming in. It's great to hear from you back then. But yeah, anyways, so I had Denise from Montreal win, and I had someone else win from Spain. And afterwards, I realized, so Montreal in Quebec, they have some very specific laws about what you can do for a promotion or a giveaway. And I'm small potatoes right now, but I'm hoping to get big one day. And I definitely want to make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's and play things right. But I don't have the legal expertise to make sure that I'm following all the rules correctly. So then I started wondering about Spain. Like, is Spain under the same sort of situation? Like, obviously, countries want to make sure that people who are doing business in their country are doing it right. And social media just lets us have a worldwide audience. But of course, we have to play by the rules. And Spain has some laws as well about just making sure that they're protecting their people. So technically, both of these winners had void ballots. But then I had gone through this process where they had won. So I did try to reach out to them. I emailed both of them. One of the teachers emailed back right away. And I understand, like, it was confusing because this person had won TpT gift cards from other people in the past. And, you know, why couldn't she win, or why couldn't they win in this situation? And I had to think about it. And in the end, I thought, for me personally, the way to make it right would be to contact them, and then from my support budget, give them a $25 TpT gift card. Because oftentimes when I connect with teachers via email, I do like connecting with them and making their day a little brighter, and vice versa. I love hearing from them. So I am going to temporarily pause my random draws. So it actually worked out well that the Did I Cheat epic fail number 1, that I got no responses. Maybe that was actually a good thing, because now I don't have to worry about random draws. But yeah, I have to pause my random draw giveaways just to think a little bit more about how do I do that in a way that is right. But I do want to talk about how I love hearing from people. And, you know, sometimes the feedback is great and sometimes the feedback is constructive. And I had one teacher recently reach out to me and said, hey, the answers in your worksheet for this Lost at Sea challenge are actually incorrect. And that person is right. There are 2 typos, just copy paste errors that I have to fix. But it's incredible because 3,000 people have downloaded the free version of that critical thinking resource. And this is the first time that I've heard of this. So I appreciate the feedback. I definitely do like giving gift cards out and thanking people. I just got to figure out how to make that right. So that was epic fail number 2. Here is epic fail number 3. Okay, epic fail number 3 is today in my live stream, I'm supposed to post the answer about what the lie was in my Did I Cheat product. So in the slideshow lesson, I'm just going to wait for it to load up here. Here's the slideshow lesson. Let's just scroll down. It's still free, and the challenge will always be free. I'm just going to go to the second slide here. And what I was going to do, let's just wait here, slide 2. There I am. Okay, so what I was going to do today was show you a video that you could show to your students, basically walking through where the lies were and sort of zooming in on the different clues here and there and some of the information you would have needed to be able to prove that I was lying in this video. And my goal was to put it together as a video, and then I was going to post it on TpT. I thought probably the best way to make this resource usable in the future as well for teachers who are just finding me now was to have the challenge up for free, but then post the solution video on my TpT store. And then that way, if I charge $3 for the solution video, students, it's not something that they can download for free, so it prevents them from finding the answer easily. And what I was going to do was teachers who entered the giveaway, who filled out that Google form, I was going to send them a $5 TpT gift card so they could get the solution video and show it to their students. But I didn't have anyone enter the contest. So even then, I was going to show you today where that solution was posted so you could check it out. But I haven't made that video product yet. And the reason why is because probably like you've got too much going on your plate, right? So I've got a lot to do. I have standards, high standards that I want to meet. And for me, everything is important, right? Like I don't want to let people down. Like I had one teacher email me and said, hey, I just found your live stream. Is it too late to enter the contest? And I didn't want to extend the deadline for legal reasons. So unfortunately, I had to close it. But yeah, right. Like, I don't even know where I'm talking right now, but I feel like I have a lot of things to do and I still want to get things done right, even for that one person, because that's the way it is in your classroom, right? Like you want to make things right. You want to make sure that you don't know who, but you know that someone might take things really personally and it's an important message and you don't want to let that person down. But something I decided midweek was I've got too much to do right now and not enough time to do it. And a decision I made was, okay, I'm going to push off the solution video for the Did I Cheat challenge, and I'll do it next week. And that was a great decision because on one hand, I felt a sense of relief because I wasn't trying to get everything done. I'm sure I could have. I think old me could have done it and it would be a sense of panic trying to rush it, but I'm sure I could have done it and I would have lost sleep. So a little side of me was still thinking like, hey, I should be doing this. But another side of me was thinking like, okay, well, this gives me a little bit of breathing room. And as it turned out, it gave me time to spend some important time with my family this week. And I'm sure I could have spent that time with my family and got the product done, but I think I would have been stressed out a lot more. And I don't think I would have spent the same quality of time that I spent with my family this week. So I am happy that I made that choice to push off the product, but I still feel a little bit horrible inside. The reason why I'm talking about this, I feel it's an epic fail, but it's not, because I think one of the things that as teachers we need to realize, especially the go-getter teachers where this is your identity, right? Like you want to do things right and you feel like you're not doing things right because there's incredible pressure on yourself that you put on yourself because you want to get it the best that you can. But World Mental Health Day is tomorrow. And I thought this was good timing because thinking about mental health as teachers, there's a lot of stigma for everyone about mental health. Personally, I struggle with anxiety. Sometimes I struggle with depression. I definitely struggle with paranoia. And I've had a mental health crisis that has forced me to leave the classroom and try to figure out how to reinvent my life. What does teaching look like if I can't be in the classroom? And I'm trying to rewrite my story, but I wanted to say that because a lot of us don't share our mental health, right? We'll talk about our physical health, but mental health has a lot of stigma with it. And so I thought by being here, I thought maybe someone out there would say, yeah, well, I can relate. Kind of in the same way that I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine the last season. And I love that Rosa Diaz came out and said that she struggled with anxiety, right? And I thought personally, I know she's a made up character, but like if she can sort of, deal with anxiety and be okay, then maybe I can be too. And sort of it's that idea of paying it forward. Maybe there's someone in your life, if they know some of the things that you go through and some of the challenges and strategies that you use to get through on a day by day, I don't know, maybe that sort of normalizes these health issues. And sometimes we're healthy and sometimes we struggle. And that's part of physical health and that's part of mental health. So yeah, I thought that was a way to sort of look at an epic fail, but sort of think about how to move it forward. Okay, so I do like talking about free things. I do have a free for now. So if this interests you, definitely check it out. And I'll post the links in the YouTube and the Facebook streaming. But I have an article about Devious Licks and TikTok trends and Devious Sips, which was sort of a counter trend. And I know some of us haven't been affected at all by Devious Licks. And I know some of us have definitely been affected by Devious Licks. But this article, it's written at 3 different grade levels. And right now it's available for free. So I would download it now, because later on, maybe this week, maybe later on next week, I'm going to post the answers. So there's no answers in there, but I'll put an answer sheet in there. And then, of course, then I'll have to put it behind a paywall. So then it'll be $3. But if you already download the resource now, then you'll get the free upgrade with the answers. And the second thing, the second freebie I want to talk about, and this one's free forever, social emotional learning. I would have known it as 6 C's or new pedagogies for deep learning, or just basically making sure that you're there for your students. But yeah, I have a video series, and there's one video about messing up goals and sort of playing with the mistakes, right? Like after you sort of get past the emotional embarrassment and the maybe, I don't know, frustration or ashamed or whatever those feelings are. And it's not like you're done those feelings, but once you're in a place where maybe you can sort of tinker with the mistakes, wondering about what you could do differently, and then trying that. And I go through phases where I feel really anxious and I'm embarrassed. And then I go through phases where I can sort of take a step back and look at it. So I thought maybe this video might help your students sort of thinking about that in terms of goals. Some of us are doing parent-teacher interviews. Some of us are doing our next units. And so this is kind of a neat way to look for your students to look at where things went and what they might try differently next time. Anyways, that's it for me. I think I was muted. Anyways, if you like this kind of stuff, if you want to make the world a better place, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please follow the Educircles Facebook page. And you can always send me a shout out, mike@educircles.org. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next time. And now I'm going to press that button for the outro. Here we go.